First off, we would like to give our Patreon shout out to Kirsten Cantrell. Thank you for all your years of service to music. Oh, sorry, no, that was blue. Never mind.
Hit 'em
6 and 2
upside.
3s. Thank you for being one of our members, our Patreon members. We do greatly do appreciate it. You single-handedly, personally invested in 3 BBLs for David. So, who's winning here? Who's winning?
Apparently not him if it's his third. Poor guy.
Addiction. It's a terrible thing. But one day he might get the BBL that he really, really wants. And hopefully the funds can go on to create other endeavors in his life. Maybe some calf implants, because it's never leg day for David.
Welcome to the Horror Hour.
We
all go a little mad.
get you. Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour. It's the place where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things horror. I'm one of your hosts, Liam. Hello. And today I'm joined with the usual and lovely Yutaka.
Hi, how are you? I'm doing fabulous. You know, still a little delicate from Friday night's stream, but I'm ready to party.
Oh, that's fun. Party and play. Good times.
You picked the right time to flaunt your foolishness in front of all of my friends, fans, family, and folks at home.
That's George's
And-
lifestyle, not mine.
And speaking of George, unfortunately, as you can tell, George isn't here. Neither is David. Unfortunately for George, he is having to spend some time alone in a darkened room, contemplating all his life choices because yet again he's been ghosted. They've seen his face in real life and ran. That's what happens when you have such a loose hoop.
Let loose, I said let loose. You're holding it together, baby. What's the use? Let loose, I said let loose. I'm giving you permission, you got no excuse.
And David, unfortunately, following the aforementioned BBL, is actually currently in surgery. The implant did mess up and did somehow end up in his thigh. But that's what happens when you go to Mexico for surgery. So never mind.
Die.
Okay, well, that was a story.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the story of their lives. It's sad for all involved. So in the absence of them, we
And
are
that's
going
10
to be...
shots by now if you're counting.
Get hammered, you deserve it. So apart from you getting to get drunk from me saying we are also going to be discussing characters that got what they deserved. Like how Yutaka is currently being punished because he deserves it too.
You're the only
punished
one
by having to
laughing,
deal with-
sir.
I know, it's fine. I can find myself funny. There's another shot for
fair.
you. So start us off, Yutaka, my darling dearest. Who do you have as someone within horror who got what they deserved?
Okay. And just for the reference, y'all, Yutaka is funny, but I know some people are like, how do you say your name? It's actually Yutaka. Just need to clear up some
it
things.
is. Or Miss Colorado, if you want to give him his title.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't fulfill my duties as Miss Michigan, so Miss Colorado it had to be.
Yeah.
So I figured I would go ahead and choose somebody who, well, they got what they got real early on, and they effing deserved it. It would happen to be Trey from Freddy vs. Jason. Like, look, he was the most toxic
Which
and
one was Trey?
annoying male. He's the one that Jason just, so he and the girl, they have sex. She gets in the shower and he's like, gross, you smell like a cigarette, babe. When you gonna quit? You know, that guy who thankfully turns over, grabs a beer, and there's Jason, who's just like, you know, Wendy Williams starring die in the back. And then to give it some extra oomph, he just folds him in half like a sandwich. George is used to that. But it was really good. It was such a cathartic, you know, like death, because that dude deserved it.
That is the reason for the season, or this episode, as you will.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
We've discussed it multiple times. Kelly Rowland.
That's true.
Come on, Jesus.
Well, that's just a clip, so
yeah,
doesn't mean you've seen it.
but I know throughout the movie. Obviously, that's just the memorable part of the movie. Well, since I also have someone on the list from Freddy vs. Jason, I'll put mine out into the universe as well. So I don't think this person has a name, and if they do have a name, I can't remember the name. So I'm just going with the creep who tries to. It was a Gib?
Grape.
Grape. Sorry, Grape. YouTube no like the word. The person who tries to do things to Gib when they are asleep. Well, asleep in the field, obviously getting attacked by Freddy in the dream world, and then obviously Jason comes along, and unfortunately it meant Gabe had to be sacrificed at the same time. But at least the bad person got what they deserved to.
It was kind of cool too, because you know she's in the dream world, and you just see her like the chest kind of explode.
Yeah, it was a very fun scene, something different, if you will, for what we were used to, with what could be done. So it was quite exciting. Another shot. So that was just one of my backups, but since
that was one of your backups,
yeah, there is many people in horror who got what they deserved, so I had quite a list.
Yeah, I mean that's very true.
Thank God. Means we can have multiple entries.
Like George.
Oh, poor boy.
Mm-hmm.
He never gets a break.
Nope.
Like his ass.
Anyways,
So what is
I'll go so we don't have to.
What is your next one?
Again.
Yep.
See, now you got me doing it, jerk. I will have to go. So we've talked about this guy multiple times, and he came off as one of the biggest douchebags in this film. And obviously that was his character. And that was Trent from the Friday the 13th remake. I mean, yes, he's good looking. He looks much better with facial hair. Seriously, look him up. Very attractive.
Ooh.
But he just in this movie was an awful boyfriend, clearly cheating on his girlfriend. And then the entire time when they're, you know, getting at it, he's just like, oh, your boobs are stupendous. And he just keeps saying the word stupendous. And he's just an idiot. So yeah, he got what he deserved.
Stupendous.
Because not only did he get stabbed from behind, I think he was also stabbed from behind. I at least know, or he was, I can't remember if Jason like actually stabbed him, but I know he pushed him onto the back of like the lawn equipment or whatever on that guy's back of his truck. So
you were right to tell me to Google. That is a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Oh, people watching or listening, Google.
He's actually Travis Van Winkle. He's been in a lot of stuff though. So it's not like
Has he?
he's. Yeah, he was
Oh, fun.
what? He was last season of You. I know you didn't watch that.
I don't
He was
watch
in The
you.
Last Ship, which had like 56 episodes.
I didn't watch that. I've never heard of
Yeah,
it.
I don't think that was a hit overseas, but
He's in a
you
lot of
know,
Christmas movies.
he
Hallmark Christmas
sure is.
movies.
Hey,
But
if
with
they're
that
paying,
face. With that face. Who wouldn't want that to be their first Christmas wish?
so yeah,
I like
that would be
that
mine.
choice. I would agree. I also did not like them. So I will go with my initial first one on the list. Paul from Anaconda, John Voight's character. Because
Okay,
he was a knob all the way through that film, if you think
he
back to
is.
it. And he got what he deserved. He died.
But why was he a knob? Like, what made you so happy? Like, what throughout the movie you're like, ooh, I can't wait to see you get killed.
Just his attitude, the way he was treating people. I vaguely remember he did something that caused someone to get killed. I can't really remember that well. I just remember hating him. But that could also be because he was played by John Voight. And John Voight, if he's playing an arsehole of a character, he just has that. He's just very good at having a general air of being a prick. I don't think the actor is a prick. Angelina Jolie would.
Oh, time to go.
Well, I do think
But
some
I
people do
don't.
because he was a Trumper.
Oh, was he? Oh, well, fuck him.
Yes.
Then I am fully out and definitely happy that Paul was killed in such a gruesome manner. I feel like he got melted a bit, didn't he? Or like swallowed and then come out and was melty. I feel like I
Mhm.
remember that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go
Fun
ahead
times.
and pick. I'm gonna kind of move over to another, franchise, and that
Oh,
is Final Destination. So, and in this case, we're gonna go with Final Destination 4, which actually,
okay.
to be fair, there are a couple people who got what they deserved in this movie. All right, so I'm gonna
It's
list them
for the
off.
NASCAR one.
Yes.
Okay.
So one, you already got the racist and the racist wife. They had to go, and we're happy they went, right?
Goodbye.
Yeah. But the other one that we also could not stand would be Hunt, Nick Zano's character, who was, well, he was a ladies' man. He treated women
Very
like
close to its
crap.
name.
He looked very handsome and all that, but guess what? He got it sucked right out his asshole, all his guts, and they just went everywhere. And he deserved it. So I'm glad he got what he
He did.
got.
Yes. Would you say he was a hunt?
Mm-mm. Anyways, what's your next one?
Oh, no, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to go with the whole of the Armitage family from Get Out. All of them, the whole family.
Yeah. Yeah,
Obviously,
that's actually
Alison.
pretty good.
Yeah, obviously, Alison Williams is usually the main target of characters who got what they deserved, but they all deserved it, all of them. Like, who's the? I should have wrote this down. The kid, the brother. He always plays creepy characters, and he was in X-Men as well, wasn't he? Caleb Landry Jones, that's it. Jeremy Armitage. Armitage. Yeah, I was very happy with his death. That was a very good one. He was the one with the horns, wasn't he? Or was that the dad?
Sure. I can't remember
I
which one that was that got killed with the horns.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But that was a good death, and it was again, it was all of them deserved it. So, um, but obviously the piece de resistance for the end of that film was Alison Williams' character. What was she called? Rose. Rose. That butch got what she deserved as well,
She really did.
and it was wonderful to see.
I agree.
Yeah, good. I kind of like Alison Williams now after Megan though. I hated her for a while,
You didn't like
but
her in
Megan's made.
Girls?
I never watched Girls.
Oh, I
I
think you
always
might
seen
actually like
Lena.
that.
Well, I always just seen Lena Dunham getting hate online and thought, I'll not watch it then.
I don't know if it was because of that show. I just sometimes think she would make ignorant comments.
Yeah, see, didn't watch it, so I'll pay attention to her. So I
But
didn't
it's
know.
actually a really good show. A lot of people kind of, you know, like blew up from that show. Like Adam Driver was in that show.
Yeah, yeah. I did give a lot of people their start, so we can be
Mhm.
thankful for that. But no, never watched it. First time I ever seen her was
Okay.
in Get Out, and then
Okay.
next time I seen her was Megan,
You know, the last time
where I
I've
liked
actually
her.
seen Lena Dunham in a film, which was very bizarre, was it's a film called Honeydew. And she ended up basically this old family. She was a daughter who the family
Hmm.
was, I can't remember why they did this, but they pretty much chopped off all her limbs
Ooh,
and
fun.
kept her alive. And she was like lived in a coffin. Oh yeah, this was messed up. And then of course they were really just waiting for some man to come by that could then fertilize her so then that they could have a grandkid.
Oh.
It's a messed up film. It's a good film. Messed up though. Like I saw Anne Lena Dunham, I go, okay. And the entire time, I'm like, when is she coming up? Let me brace myself. I go, oh God, oh God.
Ooh.
I wouldn't say she deserved what she got. That was pretty awful, but messed up.
I was gonna say no. I don't think anyone would deserve that.
No,
No.
but it was a creepy film. So Honeydew, y'all should check it out. I would say
Okay,
from my
one
next
for the list.
Yep. My next one is one I think we all hate because he freaking gaslit this woman. I mean,
Who?
he gaslit Helen Lyle like crazy. And so that would be Trevor Lyle from Candyman, the husband.
Yeah.
And he got it good. And not only did he not get it from Candyman, but he got it from Helen. And she ripped him from growing up. And he deserved every minute of it. And I loved it.
Good. Good. I can't remember the original Candyman. I really need to go back
Oh,
and watch it.
it's so good. But he is
know.
an awful, awful husband.
I
And
remember
obviously
enjoying it.
he's, sleeping with his students and all the, oh, he's terrible. So he, like, when he got it, and they hold off until the very end, but you're like, yes.
You know how we always find it bad when someone's sleeping with their students, but if it happened to us, we'd be like, I'm happy.
Well, I mean, it could still be bad. There's always a power imbalance at that point. And
Oh, yeah, but if you're smart enough, you can play it off.
mm,
Yeah, they think they're in power by giving you the better grades while you suck the dick. But really, you're the one in power because you're getting the good grades.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato on that one, I guess. What's your next one?
So next one for me is Christine in Drag Me to Hell.
What?
She got what she deserved. She was a bit of a cow. Like, not more than a bit. She was a massive cow.
Go on.
Like, obviously, she didn't help the gypsy lady. So she shouldn't be next. She should have gotten what she deserved. And just because it's your job not to help the people doesn't mean you should. You should find ways. You should create loopholes. Then obviously she kills the cat. Well, the kitten.
Yeah.
Sacrifices the kitten.
She sealed her fate with that one, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you're killing an animal, you can die. Goodbye.
Very true.
So yeah. It sealed her fate. She deserved everything she got. She should have had worse, as far as I'm concerned. Just pulling her through the gates of hell was not enough. They should have been ripping her limbs off as they did it. And attaching them back on and ripping them off again.
You know, there's talk about a sequel for that. I'm very curious about that.
What? Is she going to escape?
I don't know if it would still have her in it, but I think it would still be somewhat of a similar concept, I think. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Sam Raimi come back and do another horror film like that. Drag Me to Hell was fun.
It wasn't. Very boring. I didn't like it.
You didn't have to. That's fine.
I don't get Sam Raimi.
I think that was probably one of the first horror films where Justin Long wasn't a dick. He was an idiot.
Oh yeah, he was nice,
but he was actually, a good character.
Well, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he'd always been a bit of a tit, and then obviously was a tit in everything after, especially Barbarian.
Oh, talk about another character who got what he deserved.
Yes. Oh, he isn't even on any of our lists. Is he on your list?
And I mean, look.
He's not on my list.
Tess, I'm glad you lived, but you barely going back to
I don't think she deserved it. Being nice doesn't mean you deserve to die.
No, but being stupid in a horror film. You telling me you'd go back and save someone like that?
No, I wouldn't save anyone.
Thank you.
Wouldn't even save a nice person.
I know you wouldn't.
No. I think I would save myself and myself only.
I mean, judging by your warning system, maybe only half of you are going to get notified.
Yeah, I know my emergency alarm went off, so I don't care about anybody else. I know
remember when that happened in Hawaii. Like, they were freaking out, and they should. It was a false alarm, but it sent out this massive, I want to say missile warning.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was obviously a false alarm. This in the UK was just a practice run. And it said, "This is just a practice emergency test."
Yeah, there was none of that.
And we've been told for months it was going to happen, so we all knew it was happening today at 3 o'clock.
Fair enough.
But unfortunately, I mean, it's men. Some people have now took to Twitter to complain that they did not get this.
That's messed up.
So at least we know half the world's dying. Yeah, shit happens. So, Yutaka, what's your next one?
Okay. And we probably should have said in the beginning, this is spoilers, all right? So there's this film I had Nick Says Boo watch. And I enjoy this film to a certain extent, and I think it's just very well written, even though some of the imagery is messed up. And it's called Speak No Evil. It's a film that, while I enjoyed, it's not one I can recommend, especially if you're a parent. And the people who ended up getting what they deserved were the parents. And that's Bjorn and Louise, because all they were was nothing but incredibly passive, didn't speak up. All these little microaggressions that eventually would turn on to full-on incidents. They're just like, oh no, it's okay. Oh, as they're vacationing with this couple who are clearly not all there. And guess what happens? Their little girl gets her tongue cut out. The other boy, he's drowned. And they get stoned to death. So you know what? They got what they deserved. And let me tell you, halfway through the movie, there is a point where Bjorn and Louise are like hightailing it out with their kid. And the reason they go back, and this is why I also add the little girl to the list, is because she was throwing a fit because she didn't have her bunny. And I don't know about you.
Buy a new
Buy a new
bunny.
one. Discipline your kid. But guess what happens? They go back. And then it goes down from there. Really
Well,
good film, though.
Then they deserved it. Because they clearly didn't teach their children a lesson in life. They just let their child
Nope,
scream
the other
until they
family
got what they wanted.
taught them a lesson. It was a crazy. Well, you then find out too, like their kid was not actually their kid. Their kid was somebody else's kid that they just did the same thing to them. Yeah, it was like a cycle.
Oh, it's like a cycle of death. Oh,
It is.
the
Like I
cycle
said,
of
the
life.
movie's crazy, and yeah, again, spoilers, y'all. But these two parents, like as you're watching the film, I just kept getting mad and anger. I'm like, do something, damn it! And they didn't. And you know what? Got what you deserved. Maybe
There we
not
go.
so much the little girl, but she was just annoying. So you got to go.
No, it's fine. We've said things we've said worse things on this channel. Look at every rant David has about children in horror films. Okay, so for my next one, I'm gonna go with Bill Murray in Zombieland.
I'm gonna need
Because
you to explain that.
although it's funny that he was dressed up as a zombie and going around scaring them, what did he expect to happen?
That is
These
very
are
true.
people-
Well, it was funny.
these are people
the
that
entire
have
time I was like, what an
survived.
idiot.
Yeah, these are people who have survived, so they clearly know how they're clearly going to know how to survive because they're going to know how to use weapons. They're going to have weapons. So why would you purposefully scare them? Like, that means you're going to die. So yeah. So
That's
Bill
fair.
Murray, he got what he deserved. And if you want to Grace Randolph stands, you're going to think he got what he deserved because of hitting Grace Randolph in the second one.
Can you not?
My world is falling apart. My marriage is falling apart. My security is falling apart. And I'm miserable within my own mind and my body. And I don't know where I belong anymore. Everything's perfect. Okay.
Oh, that tickled us. Yeah, he was an idiot. So if you're gonna be an idiot during a zombie apocalypse, you're gonna get murdered.
Nope, that's true. That is true. I mean,
As Mo Hart now said, facts are facts, America.
kind of like you remember when that little girl, she's not a little girl, she was like a teenager or young adult when in the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Now, granted, she was going to save her puppy, but she really risked everything and put all those people at risk.
Yeah. It was very silly. She shouldn't have done it. But
Mhm.
even though I wouldn't save a human, I probably would try and save a dog. Like, you could die. But if your puppies were there and I had to save you, you and the puppies, I would come back, but only for the puppies.
That's fair. Okay.
I would
That's
use
fair.
it. I would use.
I would want
you
you to
as
save my
spotter.
puppies too. I would.
Yeah.
You know, I speaking of others who deserved it, I cannot remember this character's name, even though I know you all didn't like this movie. Like, y'all hated this movie. And when I say you all, I mean you and George. And I do not remember the name Oh, Jeremy, that's the name of the kid in Halloween Ends.
Oh,
That
yeah.
little kid deserved exactly what he got. You
Yeah,
do
he
not
did.
sit there. Not only did he lock this man in the attic, and then, you know, standing on the other side of the door, you know what? You got it. There's a reason you were hit and fell 3 stories, which also that house was way too nice to be in Haddonfield. Like when you see that house compared to all the other houses, that was
Some
crazy.
places have random nice houses.
That was very random. But either way, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A little
No, I would agree.
bastard deserved it.
I also didn't hate that movie. I thought it was stupid. I didn't hate it. I'm
George
indifferent
hated
on
it
it.
then. I do remember
George
that.
hated it.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just-
But it had
I'm
Laurie
just
Strode, so you
indifferent.
know.
Well, he's always going to have some sort of issue when Miss Strode's involved. No,
Yeah.
I was just indifferent. Yeah.
Okay.
I have yes, I have more. I am going to go with the group of bullies led by Henry Bowers in It.
Oh yeah, they definitely deserved everything they got.
Everything, because how dare they treat our antagonists like that? It was despicable and deplorable. Like what was the one that they carved into?
Oh, that was bad. I can't remember that character's name, but that was awful.
Yeah, that was awful. Then obviously, then I can't remember the bullies' names. I can just remember Henry. You had obviously the lanky one that went into the sewer and got buggered up. I'm trying to think of words to say that Don swears.
You're editing it. You could figure around it, so.
I could, but I don't want to figure around it, so I'm just going to say silly words. And then you had the other one. I can't remember what happened to the other one. I just know they both died.
Oh, she passed away? Oh. All right.
And then obviously, like years and years later, after Henry Bowers escapes the mental hospital, he eventually gets what he deserves because he follows it again and it bites him in the ass. Yes. It took a long time for him to get what he deserved.
It really effing did. But I mean, that makes the story.
Exactly.
But now, have you seen the original, or are you just basing it also off of the new ones as well?
I have seen both.
Okay.
My memory is a bit foggy on the old.
I mean, that's fair. That's a, you know.
Yeah. I can remember the new one, but I'm foggy on the old one. That
That's
tends
fair.
to happen with me.
Same.
Even though we always call Yutaka the old Deborah. I'm very much in that camp. I forget all the time. Do you have any more?
Okay, this might be a hot take.
Oh,
I mean, it was
not
a good
another one.
death. And my first thought, though, was, well, it's Paris Hilton in House of Wax.
I don't know if you should have rights, girl.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. All right. Yeah, she's attacked in the tent. She comes out. She sees her man with that thing in the back of his, like the knives or whatnot. She doesn't take it. The man's already dead. Just take it to have a good weapon. No, she keeps on running barefoot, of course. And then she goes, you know, in that complex again. Great chase sequence, but I'm like, girl, you could have grabbed yourself a weapon.
I feel like our definitions of people deserving things are very different.
I mean, for the most part, ours were all in sync in terms of why they deserved to get what they got. But she just didn't make good choices. She really did not. But I will say it was an iconic death scene. One of my favorites. And I do think she did really good in the role. But I was just like, oh, you're making some bad choices.
Yeah, she did make bad choices. I will allow that. Okay, fine. I'll allow it. But remembering back to Paris Hilton in that, where she didn't do as bad as everyone thought she would do, is one of the reasons why I have hope for Kim Kardashian in American Horror Story.
Ooh,
If
I
they
am
can
actually
tailor the
looking
role
forward to this.
around Kim, like they did with Paris, I think it could work.
I mean, she's the lead role, so
They're going to
be
have to do
interesting.
something. We all seen her on SNL. She was terrible. So she'll have
She
to
was
do something.
hilarious.
Hilarious because she was bad.
I think we disagree on that one. A lot of people have actually liked her on Saturday Night Live.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Crazy people. This explains all the problems in America.
Look over there!
Where?
Uh, uh, I'm sorry.
No. Keep on going, because you got it so well over there.
Oh yeah, we're fucked too. Fine. The world's ending. Everything's enjoyable. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's my list. Do you have any more?
A few inches later.
No.
No.
I wanted to say, okay, actually, yes, I kind of do. This character was it was kind of his last role too. And I love this actor, Ray Liotta. But his character in Cocaine Bear got exactly what he deserved. Exactly. Because he was a jerk.
He really
Although
was.
he was trying to protect his family, but in the end, it was more about
Was he really trying to protect his family though?
I think
'Cause he was a bit-
partly because,
he
hey,
was a
he
bit of a
wouldn't
knob
take care
about
of his
his
kid's
son.
kid. If he didn't care about his family, he would not have taken care of his kid's kid.
He
or his
wasn't taking
grandkid.
care of him, really.
He was still watching. There's a difference because if anything, he could have just been like, bye. So I think
Well, he
there was
could
a
have.
little bit that he was like, okay, I kind of care. But then
Yeah.
it became more about my ass is on the line. I'm trying to save you, even though he's really trying to save himself.
Yeah, but he got what
He really did. And it was a good death.
Which was sad because obviously it had come out after he'd actually died.
He did really good. It was I think he's got one other film that's supposed to come out, but it was a good hit. People liked his performance in it. So I'm really happy for him.
I just meant it was awkward watching someone die in a film after they've already died.
Oh, I mean, that happens in a lot of films.
It does, but it's still awkward. Fine, yeah. No, I concur. I also found that hilarious. And agreed, he got what he deserved. So, is there anyone that you think got what they deserved that we have not mentioned? Write it down below. Tell us why. Give us an essay. Give us an essay on your thoughts.
Don't do that. Liam's not the one responding to those. It's either myself or George.
I respond. Not from the Horror Hour channel. I go through after all of our videos and respond to people who mentioned me. So thank you for watching today. If you would like to watch any more of our content, please do so by looking at the links below. If you would like to follow us, please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified for any future upcoming videos. Because we do always have content coming up. We also have a Patreon, which you can sign up to. The details are below, where there is added content, early access, get to vote on things, all that good stuff. Exclusive one-on-one lives. Well, not one-on-one, you know what I mean.
More One-on-one sounds so weird. No, just
Yeah,
more
that did
like
sound weird.
Patreon exclusive lives to where it's just
There we go.
you all and us.
So you get to be a bit more friendlier with us. Words. You can also follow us on our socials, which is Twitter and Instagram, which is at the Horror Hour TV. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you to my co-host, Ms. Colorado herself. And goodbye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.